This is the Tokyo Butter 23 sneaker channel. Tokyo Butter 23 のスニーカーチャンネルです。毎日アップするので毎日見てください。I drop content every single day, so make sure you check in every single day if you want to find about upcoming sneaker releases, sneaker reviews, and any sneaker information and news that's out there. Today I'm bringing you a review of one of the great looking sneakers that's coming out real soon. It is the Nike BLAZER with the upside down swoosh from the Italian fashion house Slam Jam. As I said in the introduction, today is all about those Nike BLAZERs from the Italian fashion house Slam Jam. And as I said also, every single day I bring you this content about sneakers. Every single day. It's 5 or 10 minutes out of your day that you can just focus in on sneakers and get that sneaker content. So make sure you hit that subscribe button so you can get your daily sneaker content from me, Tokyo Butter 23 here in Tokyo, Japan. Now, I really want to talk about what's coming tomorrow as well, because I like to mix it up a little bit and not just have Nike. It seems like Nike is dropping every single day, but we also have to bring you other sneakers, and tomorrow it's Adidas, and I'm not sure if that sneaker's dropped yet or not, but anyway, I'll bring you a review of the Adidas Yeezy 700 Salts, which people have been talking about. I have a different perspective to it, seems the rest of the world, but make sure you check in tomorrow to see my perspective on the Adidas Yeezy 700 Salt. And a quick shout out to Los Angeles, where Scholar Gamer Nerd has his channel, SGN Scholar Gamer Nerd. He sent me a really cool little graphic. I'm going to put it up on the screen here with my initials TB23, Tokyo Butter 23, that he had made for me by a friend of his out there in Los Angeles. And I really appreciate that I'm somebody on the other side of the world. It takes like 12 or 13 hours to fly from Tokyo to LA. I've done it once for a Thanksgiving weekend back in 2001, which was a real story. There's wow. I mean, just wow. Okay, just wow. That's as far as I'm going to go with that. But anyway, this friend of mine, Scholar Gamer Nerd, he's got his channel there in Los Angeles, and a friend of his made this TB23 sign up for me, and I really appreciate that. So thank you very much, Scholar Gamer Nerd, and your friend out there in Los Angeles. Tokyo gives you appreciation and thanks for your efforts and your time. All right, let's have a look at these BLAZERs with that upside down swoosh on one of the sides from the Italian fashion house Slam Jam. Now, the first thing I want to talk about is actually the heel, where it says Class and 1977 on the heels, or Class and 1 and 1977 on the other, not Class 1977 on both. And the thing is, I can't really find out. I've really had a look to see where this Class 1977 comes from, because I checked, and the BLAZERs came out in 1972 for the first time, which is amazing to me because it's a phenomenal looking sneaker, and it really has held its own against even more contemporary things out there. But anyway, BLAZERs 1972, not 1977, so why does it say Class 1977 on the back? And Slam Jam, the retail company itself from Italy, who sort of I don't know, designed this sneaker or sponsored it, they themselves came out in 1989. That's when their store started and when their brand started. Again, not 1977. So I'm really kind of struggling to find out what it means to say Class 1977 on the heels of these sneakers. So if you know out there, please hit me up with a comment down below. If you saw my content on Monday when I talked about the Defiant, the Air Jordan 1 Defiant, I talked about how somebody had given me a really rich comment that I could learn from when I'd said something wrong in one of my videos, and I really appreciated being set right, and I was able to correct my knowledge and also pass that on to you guys out there. So I really appreciate it when you give me those comments down below, which I can learn from. I don't get precious about it, I don't get defensive about it, I actually appreciate it. So if you, the viewer, knows why it says Class 1977 on the back of these BLAZERs, let me know. I would very much appreciate it, and I'm sure other people out there would appreciate the knowledge too. All right, let's have a good look at this sneaker then. We've already looked at the heels. Now looking at the upper and the top half of the sneaker, you start at the tongue, where you can see the Nike branding on the tongue right there, and it's a sort of enlarged tongue. I'm not sure how many BLAZERs actually have an enlarged tongue like this, because I've never owned a pair of BLAZERs. I apologize for that. I will definitely get some in hand, because I do think it's a great looking sneaker. But that sort of enlarged tongue effect, which you've seen an awful lot on off-white sneakers over the last year, is there on the top of the sneaker with the Nike branding right there on the front of the tongue. And then if you come down into the lacing system, one of the nice touches on this, and you've got to remember this sneaker is sort of bridging fashion and sneaker worlds, if you like, and I think this is one of the great touches on it that does just that, is if you look at the surround around the lacing system, where all the eyelets are, they're two different colors. They are, I think, both suede, but on the inner side of the sneaker you've got grey suede running down the side of the lacing system, and on the outer side you've got that white suede, and I think it works. It's a real risk, if you ask me, to have different colors on each side of the lacing system, but I think they did a really good job on this sneaker, especially from a color perspective, because it is a very white sneaker, and having the white on the one side obviously works, but having the grey on the other side, a little risk, but I think it really works because it's light enough, and that suede material really complements the rest of the white upper, that all white upper. Then when we move down a little bit, you get to the signature of the sneaker. We've had the class 1977 on the heels, we've got that lacing system right there, and maybe that tongue too is part of it too, but the real signature is that on one side, on the inner side of the sneaker, the flipped swoosh, and it's supposed to mimic a factory error. That's the thing. And if you do get your hands on an actual factory error Nike Air Jordan sneaker in particular, man alive, you're onto a winner there. But this is deliberate, where they flipped one of the swooshes upside down to give that effect, that sort of factory error effect. And again, I think it's a great look, and I especially appreciate the fact that it's just one of the swooshes. It's not the outside and the inside both flipped upside down. I think it's cool that just one of them is flipped and the other one is not. And the place where I think that's coolest, and I might be, well, for all I know, I might be the only person on the planet that thinks this, but other people out there, if you do think this, let me know. I really think it's cool because when you get to the back of the sneaker, where the swooshes would normally line up and touch each other at their thinnest point as they've sort of tapered towards the heel of the sneaker, they don't match up. One's higher than the other because one has been flipped upside down, and I really like that offset where they don't match up on the back and the heel of the sneaker. I think it's a really nice touch, and I think it really helps define that only one flipped swoosh for this sneaker. Now, having a closer look at those swooshes as well, what you can see is, if you really zoom in and get close and have a real good look at them, is it's actual tumbled leather as opposed to the smooth leather of the upper. And again, it's a very small touch, to same as those lacing system suedes, the same as the swoosh upside down and not connecting at the back. The tumbled leather for the swoosh instead of just regular leather is a great feature. It's discreet, which I think fashion should be. It should be discreet, but it is a really nice touch and a real great addition to this sneaker. Then when you get down lower to the bottom half of the sneaker, at the very end of the sneaker, you've got that outsole, which is a very simple plain white outsole, and it does finish off a really nice looking outer side of this sneaker. There is one last place to look, which is the insole. So if we have a look inside, again, it's a small touch, but a touch that I think works, is that usually on a sneaker like this, the insoles would be identical in design, shall we say. Obviously they're not identical in shape because they're on different feet, your left and right feet, but you'd have the same imprinting on them. But if you look inside, the swooshes don't both go the same way, which I'm trying to sort of mimic with my fingers here. They go in opposite directions, which again mimics the swooshes on the outside, with one of them being back to front. And I really appreciate that little touch. It would be very easy just to print off bang bang from the same machine the same sort of design of swoosh, and I really appreciate that they go in different directions. And that's it. That's my overview of the BLAZERs from Slam Jam in Italy. I think it's a really great looking sneaker, I have to be honest with you. And I really have grown to appreciate BLAZERs I really have grown to appreciate BLAZERs. I can't say it. I really have grown to appreciate BLAZERs over the last couple of months, and they really are a nice looking sneaker. I personally favor branding and styling that's discreet. Most of the clothes I wear, as you will see as a viewer, are very simple. I tend not to like over effusive and over branding on clothing and sneakers. I like discreetness in my sneakers, and these BLAZERs certainly do that for me. I like the design elements. I think they're discreet enough to be cool, but they don't distract from the actual Nike element of the sneaker. It's a really good looking sneaker for me, and I really appreciate bringing it to you guys today. I really enjoy bringing you that review. Thanks for checking in today, guys. I really appreciate you guys being here to check out my daily content. Every single day I'm bringing that daily content. If you do appreciate that, hit that sub button as we fly past the 200 sub marker and we get on into the future and growing this channel. I've said it before, I'm trying to grow it in advance of the hype that's going to come for the Olympics. So hitting that subscribe button and getting me subscribed and sort of growing ahead of that hype is really appreciated, and I thank you very much for doing it. All that remains is for me to remind you that tomorrow we'll be looking at that Yeezy Salt that may or may not have dropped already, I'm not sure, but I do want to bring you my perspective on it. It is a little bit different from most people's out there, and it'll be interesting to see who out there appreciates my perspective on it. But for now, I have to say farewell. Thanks for checking in, and I will see you tomorrow. Thank you for checking in today, guys. I really appreciate your being here and viewing my content. Over here we have the channel subscribe button. Channel Toro Zehi onegaishimasu. Over here we have the video I recommend you watch next. Kochira wa osusumi desu. And up here we have a link to the channel introduction video. Kochira wa channel no profile no video desu. Check them out. Clicking on them really helps the channel.